to Pitch Perfect Live. I am your coach and host, Nicci Willis, and we already have Makeva coming in. This is going to be a good one, ladies and gents. All right, here we go. Yay. Hi, Makeva.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. We have a bit of a delay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to try to turn mine up so I can hear you well. All right. Okay, guys, we are in for a special treat today because I have on not only an incredible business leader, business owner, but also my sister, Queen, the previous Mrs. United World, Makeva Armant. Hello, Makeva.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. I am a little bit nervous. I know your email said not to be nervous, but I don't know.
It's coming. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? The nerves are fine. I people always say, they always ask me, like, do you ever get nervous? I'm like, absolutely. That's why we have these tools. That's why I created these tools. Because
Yeah.
if you are prepared and you have tools that work, regardless of your nerves, you're going to be able to rock it. So I am so glad that you joined me today. Just for you guys who are just now joining us, this is Pitch Perfect Live, where every Tuesday I meet with a brand new business leader or entrepreneur, and we tweak their business pitch. This is for people who are incredible at what they do, super knowledgeable, and amazing at whatever product or service that they have. But when it comes to sharing the pitch or explaining what you do, or maybe asking for an investment, it can sound a little clunky. And so I use my expertise, and I have these brave souls join me live for 30 minutes, and we dive into it and we tweak that pitch so that your pitch lands better, so that you have buy-in from your clients, and you ultimately get more clientele and more money, because that's what we want, right? We don't want to be broke.
Yes.
Yes, we do not want to be broke. So today, we are blessed to have Makeva on. And Makeva, we have more people joining. Also, I do see the chat. So if you guys join in the chat, I always got to give some house rules when we are here live. We are all about having an amazing community who is supportive and cheering people on, right? So as we are doing this, as we are going through this pitch, I want to see the hearts, the emojis, the fire emojis, the 100 emojis. I want you guys cheering Makeva on, because it takes a lot to get on live in front of a ton of people and tweak the pitch. But I'm telling you guys, this is week 15 now that I've been doing this and helping an entrepreneur every single week. And let me tell you something. Someone that had come on with me about 3 or 4 weeks ago, a client of theirs actually called me because they found them on this show. So this works, I'm telling you. And they watched him pitch on the show, and they ended up finding him and going with him. So I'm telling you,
Okay.
this
Okay.
this definitely works. And this is what this is about. So we are already seeing fire emojis, which I love. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining us. The other thing is we only have 30 minutes. And you guys get on me every time if I do not do this timer. If I don't do the timer correctly, they will get on me. But before we start the timer, I'm going to hand it over to you, Makeva, so that you can let us know what Immersed Global LLC, is it LLC?
Yeah.
Okay, Immersed Global LLC is just a little blurb, just to let everybody know what we are working on today. From the application that you sent me, we are essentially working on funding, because this is a project that needs to be funded. You want some sponsors, some donors, things like that.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we're working on, guys. All right, once you tell us what this is, I've got questions for you. Again, y'all, this is completely unscripted. The only thing I get is a tiny little brief on a Google form, and that's it. So we're going to use all the tools that I have, and we're going to work this thing out. You ready, Makeva?
I'm ready.
All
I'm
right,
ready.
go ahead. Tell us just a little bit about what Immersed Global is.
So, Immersed Global is an organization that I started to bring world language and cultural education to underserved communities. We do that by creating world language curriculum, by producing programs, and also through our nonprofit arm, Madame Armant's Immersive Cities, which is a very long name. We have what we're calling Camp Immerse, which is launching this summer. It's an immersive experience where kids can come in and learn Spanish, learn about Spanish culture, also get some leadership development, financial literacy, etc. And
Mhm.
we do it in what mirrors a city
I like
environment so
this.
that the
Okay.
kids fully get that immersed experience.
Okay. I
So that's
like
it.
this.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that wasn't that bad, was
It
it?
wasn't that bad,
I
no.
But let me tell you something. Okay, so how long have you been doing this? Like what are some of the, qualifications that you have and what kind of brought this all together?
So it's kind of a tricky question
Okay.
because, I mean, officially the organization has been established since 2020,
Okay.
but I am a former French teacher, Spanish teacher, professor. I grew up, or I started studying French when I was in high school. I majored in
Hmm.
French. I've studied abroad. I then went on to do pageantry, where my platform was also like celebrating or promoting the study of diversity, as promoting diversity through the study of world languages, excuse me.
Hmm.
So I have been doing this for like ever,
Yeah.
but it's officially been a business for me since 2020.
Okay. All right. Wow. So you were a previous French and Spanish teacher. So
Yeah,
you are all about world languages, like you said, and you have a
yeah,
real passion for world languages.
yes.
Well, that's huge,
Hmm.
especially as things become more and more global. When you say,
Hmm. Hmm.
okay,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, and you majored in this as well.
Yes, I have an undergrad degree in modern languages with a concentration in French and a minor in Spanish, and I
Hmm.
have a master's degree in intercultural communication. And if I can add, I do truly believe in the transformative power of studying languages and cultures and traveling and being connected because it changed my life. So
Mm,
I've taken those experiences and shape them into, well, they are a part of my passion and just shape them into an organization where I can do for other kids what my mentors and leaders did for me through
mm.
my language journey. So,
How many times do you share that part of your story?
uh, not as much as I share the other parts of the story. I mean, it's on my
Yeah.
website.
Yeah. But you know what? What I saw when you said, if I could share a little bit more, I saw your heart. And I saw what really ignited this
Mhm.
whole entire journey. You said this has shaped my entire life and the people that I encountered, the what did you say, the mentors that you encountered that helped shape my life. I want to give that to other children. And you broke down the importance of what we now know is this global lifestyle where it's not just local.
Right.
Children are going to grow up in a global society. They might have friends, that they literally talk to, not just pen pals like back in the day, but they
Hmm.
might have friends that they literally talk to that are, that speak Mandarin or, like you said, speak French
Hmm.
or Spanish. So I saw you light up, which is fantastic because that's what I want to draw out of you a little bit more.
Okay.
This is you're talking from a place of authority for one. Do you believe you have that authority to speak on this? Because you definitely do.
Yeah.
Makeva, you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
absolutely do. You said, listen, I've got degrees in this. I've been
Yeah.
teaching this and I've lived it. So those are 3 points of authority that you can now, instead of coming to ask for funding, you can now lead with authority. You can now lead with authority. So let me ask you some questions here.
Okay.
My first question is, let me think. Okay, so when you get to the part of asking for a number, any kind of number
Mhm.
from a donor, what happens on the inside? Like what happens? I can see it on your face. Okay.
So let me just say, I am a Capricorn. I
Mm.
am an eldest daughter. I am a eldest of a single parent house. All the things
Mm-hmm.
that would make someone clinch
Yeah.
to ask of others.
Okay.
And the fact that it's like requesting money, it
Yeah.
just makes it even more like kind of gut wrenching for me,
Okay.
honestly.
So what if so then we need to reframe then, because you are not asking for money. What you're actually doing is you are helping donors align their money with their values. That
Okay.
is actually what you're doing. You are helping donors. I'm going to say that again because there might be some people that are watching as well that are maybe in the same position that you're in. You know, they kind of freeze up and kind of
Hmm.
their little hiney clenches when it's time when it's time to ask for money. Well, you're not asking for money. You are actually helping donors align their money with their values. And so therefore, you're actually solving a problem. You're
Hmm.
actually solving a problem. So if what number do you usually ask for? I'm just
Well, I have been taught to always give like three options, right? So
mm-hmm,
I'll throw out a number that I feel is like a safe number. So depending on the type of donor. So if it's like a corporate
mm-hmm,
donor, like a large company that we're seeking funding from, I would say like a comfortable number, maybe it's like 5 grand or something. And so that'll be like the middle number.
mm,
And then I'll say like 15 for high and like
okay.
one for low, or 2,500 or one for low. If
Let
it's
me ask
just
you
like
this.
personal,
Do you believe that what you're doing is worth that number?
no. No. I believe it
What
would
then
be way more.
what number are you truly trying to ask for?
See, it
Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. You are leading from a place of authority.
okay.
You know the impact and the life change that happens when children are immersed early in
Yes.
multiple languages. You know. So what is that worth?
I think that it's worth millions,
Mhm.
to be honest. I
Yeah.
mean, to transform that many lives that early
Mhm.
in that way, I think it's
Yes.
worth millions.
So a $25,000 donation would just be a drop in the bucket, would it not?
Yeah.
Because we're not pocket watching over here.
Hmm.
We are sharing the value of what it is that your company does. We're showing the value of that. And you just told me that I believe, and no, we don't think, we believe, or we know. We're confident. This thing is
Hmm.
worth millions. So $25,000 donation, investment, whatever you want to call it, this could help bring XYZ. What share a little bit about some of the changes that parents see when their children go through your program, or what will they see?
Well, first of all, they'll see more confidence.
Mm-hmm.
They'll see higher test scores because it does help boost attention and ability to focus in other areas of study as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Children and people in general who speak multiple languages or study multiple languages are less likely to develop Alzheimer's and
Mm.
dementia. Yeah.
I didn't know
Um,
that. That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
But
because your brain's a muscle. And so
yeah,
when you're working it in these ways, you're making it stronger and stronger. So, I mean, a plethora, from the job market to being able to communicate across borders, across barriers, to, strengthening community connections locally,
mhm.
internationally. It just, I could
Now
go
you're
on and on
flowing.
and on and on.
Yes, now you're flowing. So if a donor then asks, what changes because of my gift? That is what you say. Well, if I give you this 25,000, because we're now at 25,000. I don't know what number you were at or anybody else. What y'all think? Now those are, I'm getting hearts because of the 25,000. 5,000. Listen, we don't want to leave money on the table here. We really don't. And if you're trying, let's say you're trying to, I think I saw on your website, you're saying that for this program, it's going to be like $80,000.
Mhm,
So if you were doing, 5,000, or let's just say, you were asking for 1,000, you would need 80 donors in order to come up with this money. Well, if you got 20,000, let's say they say, I can do 20,000. Now all you need is four.
yeah.
That makes it a lot easier on you. So
Yes.
let's not leave money on the
Definitely.
table. And yeah, and because we're leading from authority and because this is such high value, we can definitely ask for this amount of money. You can ask for this amount of money. And again, we're not necessarily asking. What we're doing is aligning their values with their money. Because you've got rich people out there and you've got donors and you've got organizations saying, we've got this pot of money. What are we going to do with it? And all you're doing is taking a flashlight and going, hey, I got it right here.
Mhm.
This is what you can do with it. And this is how it aligns with your values. Okay. So you want to get into a little role play here?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So you just told me, you said, when these children go through this program, they walk away with more confidence, higher test scores. They're able to focus more. You said they're less likely to develop Alzheimer's, which is incredible. That's long term,
Mhm.
right? So if I, as a donor, if you're coming to me and I'm like, well, you just asked for 25,000, what changes because of my gift? What will you say?
Okay. I would say, so you're giving me 20,000 and you want to know what changes. Well, I would say what changes is everything that I just said, right? Like you
You
want me
are
to just
not
like
getting off
role
that
play it?
easy.
You want me to just
Okay,
say it again?
no
Okay.
problem. Let's rewind. No problem.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So,
Okay. Okay.
so you could say, if it helps, you can say, you know what? I'm so glad you asked. So that's how you lead into it. You have a posture of excitement when you say something like, you know what? I am so glad you asked. So if they
Okay.
say, so if I give you $25,000, what does that look like? You say, I am so glad you asked. Instead of saying, that's a great question. Mm-mm. I am so glad you asked.
Okay.
Then you say, do you know when they go through our program, they leave with more confidence, better focus in school. They leave with a different worldview. They leave with, they're able to, or we've seen over time that they have better test scores and all kinds of things. And then leave it right there.
Okay.
Just leave it right there. So let's practice that one. So if I
Okay.
say $25,000, that's a lot of money. So, like, what are you going to do with this $25,000?
Well, I'm very glad that you asked because what we're planning this summer is Camp Immersed. We're going to fully immerse our students ages 6 to 11 in an experience that is unlike any other. They're going to enter the doors and feel as though they have stepped into another country and be able to learn a new language, experience new cultures, express themselves through the arts, as well as learn some financial literacy that they can take beyond just this summer. And because of your donation, our students will leave knowing that they have something, they have a skill that they can carry throughout the rest of their lives. It'll impact them from youth all the way into adulthood.
Okay. Okay. You know what? That was awesome. And then you like looked off to the corner. Stay there. Okay, you're getting hearts. Stay there. When you looked off to you were, let me tell you, you were flawless throughout the entire thing. You let me know what's going on with the money. And then you gave me a little bump at the end as far as what the child walks away with.
Mhm.
And then you went, and I was like, ah.
Okay.
You keep that eye contact and you end with a nod. These children, they walk away with something that will impact them for a lifetime. Nod your head. Because what you're doing is, this is a reflective moment, a reflection moment. You're mirroring them, and you want them to mirror you.
Mhm.
So you are saying, I'm so glad you asked. What your $25,000 does is, and you just explained it, right? Then you end with, and they walk away with XYZ,
Mhm.
right? And then this is a great ending because you're saying, yep, that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what you do. And that's exactly why you should invest your money in this company. Mm-hmm. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to, let's see. I want to try it one more time.
Okay.
Okay. All right. um I am Nicole Willis, multi-millionaire, and I've got all this money that, needs to go somewhere. I really love children, but I mostly donate in education. So I'm not quite sure what, being immersed in different languages is going to bring. Okay.
Well,
So,
I'm.
so here we go. What is this? So I see you're asking for 25,000. What
Mhm.
is this going to do?
Well, I'm glad that you asked, and I'm glad that you are an educator or an education investor because that's exactly what we are. Languages and cultures are part of the education sector. Your $25,000 would be going toward our Camp Immerse experience, where students will be immersed in a Spanish language as well as arts and culture. And from there, studies have shown that studying languages actually increases test scores. So them learning a second language will also translate over to the other education sectors. So your money is actually going to exactly what you wanted to go towards.
Yes, and we'll keep, that was honestly, that was really good. That was really good. The deliberate at the end is hilarious to me. But you can keep practicing that and working on that because Makeva, that was fantastic. And I love how you brought in what you knew about her. You brought in the fact that what from whatever research you just did on me, right? You brought in the fact that she loves education. She loves donating to education pieces. And you were like, that's exactly what we are. So then it made her, okay, let me lean in a little bit. Because what her body posture says, how so? And you explained it flawlessly. That is from a level of authority that cannot be played with. That was
Okay.
fantastic. That
Thank
was
you. Thank
fantastic.
you.
Now, I want to get into the ask because you were talking about the ask and then the follow-up. So I kind of want to get into how much time do I have? I got about 10 minutes. I want to get into not just the ask, but I want to get into the follow up. So you have. Oh, do you have any questions for me? Y'all know I get so excited.
No, not currently, no.
Okay. So we're asking for $25,000. You shared clearly more than once what that $25,000 can do. How do you normally end it? Like, let's say you've had this conversation, you've had the full conversation. How do you normally end the conversation? What usually happens?
Um, well, it depends on, well, I guess we haven't had a $25,000 donation, so so far,
Well, let
we
me rephrase the question. What is your goal after meeting? Like in your initial, let's say you've gotten the meeting, right? You're face to face or you're having the conversation. What is the goal of that particular meeting?
I would say usually my goal is buy-in
Okay.
because I feel that if someone is emotionally invested, then they won't have an issue with like actually financially investing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So is it another meeting that you're asking for? Is it you know what have you typically seen is the time frame that it takes for people to donate and for organizations to donate?
Um, yeah, there's usually another meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another meeting. So how do you ask for that next meeting? Like what does that whole wrap up look like?
Like, oh, and if you want to discuss this more, please let me know. I have this availability, or if you have availability to discuss further, I'm happy to something like that. Like,
Okay.
I assume, I guess, that they want more explanation,
Okay.
and yeah.
So here's a tip. If they're on the fence, or maybe they are done asking questions, but they're not quite ready to commit, here's a tip. A great question to ask is, what would need to happen for us to move forward? So let me ask you, what would need to happen for us to move forward? And then you're putting the ball in their court to say, either well, I have to talk to this level of management, or I have to talk to, it shows you what their limitations are, if there are any.
Hmm.
Or maybe if hopefully they don't have any other levels or anything that they have to go through, or anyone that they have to talk to. And then they say, oh, nothing really, I just need to think about it. Right? If we get to I just need to think about it, then we say, you know what? Wonderful. I tell you what, how about I follow up on Wednesday? Either follow up Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Never follow up on Mondays, never follow up on Fridays. Terrible days. But Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. If it's a Thursday, then you'll follow up that next Tuesday. I tell you what, I'll follow up on Tuesday
Hmm.
with the proposal outlining everything that we talked about. Would that, then you would say something like, would that timeline work for you? And then it goes back into their
Back
court.
into that.
Yep. Okay. So let's practice that real quick. Let's practice what would need to happen. What would need to happen in order for us to move forward? So you've asked for the 25,000. You've kind of shared a little bit. They've asked all these questions, these back and forths, right?
Hmm.
And then they're like, okay, well that's interesting. Okay, that's kind of nice. Go. Well, what are we doing next? What's happening next?
Well, thank you so much for your email. I do have one question. What would need to happen next for us to move forward?
Okay. So you look very timid right now.
Okay. Because I'm like guessing. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
guessing, or
You're
yeah.
coming from
Okay.
so what this is you're coming from a place of curiosity to get to understand how best to partner with them. Again, we're not begging, we're not asking, we're just coming from a place of curiosity. So you could say, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? And then you say, what would need to happen in order for us to move forward? Try it that way.
Okay. Question. I do have one question.
Yeah.
Is this an in-person interaction? Because I think in
Mhm.
my brain it's email.
Oh, no, person.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
You listen, email is awesome, but
Mhm.
when you're asking for these dollars, face to face is key
Okay.
because people follow people.
Hmm.
And as as amazing as your organization is and your business is, people want to see you. They're going to fall in love with you. So, this is a face to face. What
Okay.
you want to get is either face to face first and then phone call if we have to. But face to face is awesome because then they
Okay.
get to see that light that you had at the beginning of the session when you were talking about your personal experience. They need to see that. They need to feel it. It needs to be tangible. And plus, you're
Okay.
gorgeous anyway. So, yeah, that helps. That helps. Okay.
Stop.
Yeah, girl. You know I'm gonna gas you up. You already know. Okay. So yeah, everything that we practice here is that face to face because emails can be great. I mean, you can chat GPT an email pretty quickly, but the power is in the communication. And that's what we're losing. We are losing so much of that. If someone were to say, "Hey, can I take you out to lunch?" And then you're like, "Yeah." And then they say, can you tell me about, what you value most right now?" They're like, "Excuse me?" Yeah. And you start to have that connection. That connection is what is going to breed that buy-in that you're really looking for.
Okay.
And so many of us hide behind the computer, hide behind the keyboard, and you just got to get out there.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm here. That's what I'm here for. Because you got it all inside of you. You just
Mhm.
got to reframe it and mold it and tweak it and check it so that it connects and you get that buy-in that you're looking for. And you're not leaving money on the table. And people are calling you for the next, round of fundraising.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
you've had this in-person conversation. We're wrapping it up. And you kind of want to know the question, what would need to happen for us to move forward together? And you're asking out of curiosity in order to help. That's kind of the posture that it looks like.
Okay.
Okay, go. Action.
So before we go, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What would need to happen for us to move forward?
Mm, I like it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Coming from a place of authority, that felt strong. You know what? That's a good question. Um, I don't know. I would love to, I guess, see some more of your program and maybe see the curriculum. I think that would be nice. If I could maybe see that.
Okay, that's not a problem at all. I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked for that. So today is Tuesday.
Mhm.
How about I follow up? I can send over a few examples of our curriculum in the morning for you to look over, and then I'll give you a couple of days to review that, and then I can actually follow up with you on Tuesday of next week. How does that sound?
Yes, 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 yes. That was
Okay.
so clean. That was so clean. And you gave me direct timelines. You let me know exactly. You heard me. You said, "Hey, I'll have that to you by morning." And then you gave me the exact time that you're going to follow up. That was fantastic. Fantastic. Ah, okay. You're getting hearts. You're getting fire emojis. I don't know if you can see this on your side. Someone
I think
said,
I saw
"Oh,
some
you are
fire.
a beautiful woman with a beautiful smile." Yes.
Oh, thank you guys.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. I have 2 minutes left, people. 2 minutes. Okay. So a couple of things, just a reminder. We're not asking for anything. We're finding people that want to align their money with their values. That's it. And when you come from that place of authority and help them discover that, you're going to get more of that buy-in for sure. You got to get out there. People, I'm telling y'all, you have to get out there and meet face to face. Emails and even phone calls, people are inundated with that. But when you get face to face with someone, when they're able to see the fire in your eyes, when they're able to see how excited you are about your product or service, it makes a world of difference. They also can't curb you. And that's also very, very important because now you're looking into their eyes and now you're asking them questions. And it's, they get people asking them for stuff all the time. But do they get people who are curious about what's important to them? That's what you're going to do. That's what makes the difference. And don't be afraid to ask for the large number. Number one, you don't want to be burnt out trying to get these smaller numbers in. Go ahead and ask for the large number and then be quiet. That's the other thing. A lot of times we talk ourselves out of, the larger number. We say, we're asking for 25,000. But if you can't do that, we can go ahead and do 10. Whoa, hold on. No, we are currently securing 4 donors at 25,000. We would love for you to be one of those who aligns with us and who invests with us. That's so much stronger than, well, we're hoping to raise, we're looking to raise. Put those shoulders down, square them up, and let people know, let your target audience know we are in the process of securing 4 $25,000 donors. We're looking for donors who align with us and who align with our values. And then that's it. Because they might have 50,000. We don't know.
Right.
But if we start talking ourselves out of it, well, then they'll say, well, I guess they only need 10. I'll write a check for 10. And we done left $40,000 on the table. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So silence is golden when you are, when you're talking in negotiations, when you're doing pitching. Let it go and let it sit. And then you're going to go, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm glad that we had this today. I was actually scheduled to go out today to visit some businesses because we're planning a 5K coming up on May 2nd, and we are currently also looking for sponsors and partners for that. But it snowed again in Maryland, and it's raining, and it got cold again. So next week the weather's supposed to be pleasant.
Okay, cool. So
And
you
we'll
can
go out.
double up on all the people that you missed this
Yeah.
week.
And I can
Yeah.
put my practice here to work.
Yes. Well, as well, maybe you don't know, but every time someone comes on for Pitch Perfect Live, you actually will get a copy of this video. It will be available for you to rewatch. And those of you who have joined us, who have commented, who have sent the fire emojis and the hearts and everything from Makeva, guys, thank you so much. Now, I have already told you that people actually get clients, get booked, and all kinds of stuff from this show. So, Makeva, the last thing I'm going to ask you to do is to let everybody know where they can find you, where they can find your company, all the things. Take it away.
You can find us at immersedglobal.net. That's immersed, IMMERSED, global.net. And you can also find us on Instagram at immersed_global. And me, you can find me, Makeva_Armant. I'm not that important. Go find Immersed Global.
Oh, listen, let me tell y'all, she is the brainchild behind this. Makeva, you have been fantastic. I really
Thank you.
enjoyed this. Oh, somebody wants you to say it in French. Is
Oh, that's my mother.
that
Oh
your
my
mom?
God. Yes.
Well, you got to do what mom says.
No.
No? You sure? You don't want to say
I'm
anything
not.
in French? It doesn't matter. I wouldn't know what it is anyway. I would be very impressed though. No? Okay. Sorry, mom. She won't do it in French.
No. We also have a YouTube channel, Immersed Global Kids, that you can follow us and subscribe. Your kids can learn some. This year we're focusing on Spanish, so they can learn some Spanish from Immersed Global Kids on YouTube.
Perfect, perfect. All right, guys. All of that will be in the description below. I just learned that it takes 24 hours for these videos to process. So you guys will see this video this time tomorrow, guys. If you want to be a donor, if you are in the Maryland area and you are looking for a summer program and you want your child immersed into world languages, then this is your sign. Go ahead and click that information below. Listen, if you want to be a part of Pitch Perfect Live and join me live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, go to NicciWillis.com. Click on Pitch Perfect Live and listen, you might be the one that joins me on that Tuesday. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you, Makeva.
Thank
You
you
were
so much. This was
fantastic,
awesome.
fantastic. All right, guys, take care. Bye.